just pivot to something about this election. With 6 days left, a couple of things happen. The FBI comes out and makes the announcement about the discovery of 650,000 emails. And then yesterday, responding to a Freedom of Information Act, they went back to 2001 and put forward documents about the Mark Rich pardon that Bill Clinton okayed. How important is that?
I mean, this just shows the continuation of the incredible dark cloud of scandals that sits over the Clinton machine. I mean, I describe this as the largest organized crime investigation probably in decades that the FBI is having to go through. You're talking about, the Anthony Weiner pedophilia scandal. You're talking about the reopening of a national security investigation against Hillary Clinton, who is, 4 or 5 days now away from potentially being a president. Give me a break. I mean, when is enough going to be enough for these people? In addition to the WikiLeaks, in addition to more stuff that's going to come out. I understand that there's talk about the quote unquote 33,000 emails coming out today or tomorrow. Mm-hmm. I mean, the 33,000 are probably in the 650,000.
You're
probably
right.
This is unprecedented. It's unbelievable.
You know what?
You mentioned the emails, and we were just learning this morning, Judicial Watch recently discovered that Hillary Clinton's server was the target of 10 hack attempts in a 2-day period. This was back in 2010, and the hackers were trying to log on as different people within her campaign, like Doug Bann and Uber Avenue. What's your reaction?
Right. Well, all this stuff, and then the things that we are seeing in the email discussions that are coming out. I mean, even those, it's disgusting. This is a disgusting way to run. I mean, I would never allow this in any military organization at all. Any type of the kind of conversations that are being had in these emails are just, it's unbelievable. I would tell you that the whole effort that's going on when they talk about the cyber attacks and the hacking, I mean, this has been going on for many, many years. So for any of these people to be talking about what has happened or wouldn't happen, I mean, to me, this is just unbelievable. So I mean, what we're facing is an incredible level of scandal, criminal behavior. I mean, there's serious criminal behavior that is directly related to Hillary Clinton's actions.
And that foundation?
In the foundation, I mean, everything.
You know what?
It's funny, but it's all coming together. This 650,000, it's like Anthony Weiner is going to end up, tying all this together because he probably was using this as a get-out-of-jail-free card.
Well, apparently he is cooperating. We don't know exactly what the cooperation means. Yeah. But there's a story out this morning that, given the fact that he was sexting, he's in big trouble for sexting with at least one underage teenager. Now there's a report that he could have been the perfect target for hacking into her server because his then wife was one of the users.
Yeah, I mean, there's two other things here that I think, in my experience with investigations, which I've had quite a bit actually in the area of espionage and also just the extortion side. So you have elements here that are so dangerous for our national security because you likely have classified information, highly classified information in this 650,000. So if Anthony Weiner had access to them, that means there are many, many other people that had access to them.
Just as the United States evidently had
that's the extortion.
The blackmail. The President of the United States evidently had an alias too, and he was going back and forth with Hillary Clinton on her private server. But, General, when you talk about espionage and stuff that you've been involved in, it does bother me that we're doing this off Julian Assange's hack, because this guy's an international criminal. Yeah. Does it bother you?
Yeah, it bothers me, but it also, what bothers me more, it's not about Julian Assange, it's not about Russia, it's not about Anthony Weiner, it's about Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton is the one that made the decision to have an unclassified server in some closet somewhere to do government, very, very sensitive government business for 4 years.
And that's why Barack Obama should be the angriest. I hired you to do a job, and you did all this. Now, here's the other thing.
He should be, but in a way, Brian, he's caught. He's caught because the leaks of information that are coming out are going to show, unless they pull him for national security reasons, they're going to show that our president was in communication with Hillary Clinton, and in fact, he said he wasn't. He said he found out about it through the media. So
sure. And with the WikiLeaks stuff, this is where we are in society with technology now.
Yeah.
This is like the whistleblower of 2016.
Yeah.
That's right.
General, the other thing is that what makes this so unique, I was thinking about it this morning, is that if you didn't like Al Gore, you didn't vote for Al Gore. You don't like Bush, you don't like Bush. You didn't like Barack Obama, you didn't vote for Barack Obama. You wanted to find out more information, but it was just, let's just find out more information to find out what kind of agenda he'll have.
Right.
This is different.
Yeah,
this is what are you hiding? How deep does this go?
Yeah.
How else are you involved? What do you really mean? How are you rigging the primaries in order to get the nomination? The more you look, the uglier it gets. Like it or not, Donald Trump is so transparent. He got himself in a lot of trouble between his tweets and what he says and answering questions maybe too candidly.
Yeah,
A little too honest, you mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, journalism is under attack this election for sure, because there's been so much. Frankly, there's just been deceit in your business, and I'm being very frank. This has become a social media election, and I'm telling you,
Sure.
you look at, so you guys pay attention to it. You report on it all the time. This is a digital election, and it has changed, and all this leak stuff. If it's showing one thing, is that you cannot hide anything.
Yeah.
And so it's like I've said it publicly. Hack my emails, because I would love to have somebody put out what I say. Because what I'm saying right here is what I say in my emails. I don't disparage people, like all the kinds of words that we're hearing said in the emails.
General, there's a brand new ABC Washington Post tracking poll that has just come out in the last 10 minutes or so, and apparently on the question of honesty and trustworthiness, now Donald Trump eclipses Hillary Clinton. He's in front of her at this point, according to what was just whispered in my ear.
Yeah.
I got to ask you something that Mr. Trump was talking about out on the trail yesterday.
Yeah.
He said, look, some of you may have already early voted for Hillary Clinton. It's not too late to change your vote.
Right.
How many people, as you go out, have you met or heard say, I wish I could have a do-over on that?
Yeah, well, the other day.
Is this a big number we're talking about?
I don't know if it's a big number, but I think that people ought to have I'm glad that those states have the opportunity to show up to the polls, because I guess if you show up to the polls on polling day, if you've previously voted, you can re-vote. You can recast your vote, and I guess there's 5 states. I think that that's a big deal. I don't know what the numbers are going to be, but I think it's going to be very interesting to see what those numbers are, to see how many people re-voted.
If you look at the trends on Google, it is interesting because no one's really checking it until the latest investigation drops on the 31st. Then all of a sudden a spike goes up for people Googling, how do you change your vote?
Right. So I think you're going to see a number of people recast their vote, and I think you're going to see it.
You can't explain it. You lived it, and you're getting briefed along with Donald Trump in many cases. But it's hard to take your eye off what's happening in the world.
Yeah.
ISIS calling for attacks on the West Coast. Mosul about to fall. We're turning this over to Iran. The challenge is what's happening in Syria. Russia on the march. China beginning to expand. When Donald Trump looks at this, do you sense, does he know what he's getting into?
Yeah, he does. And it's, this is an incredibly serious time for the United States of America, and it's a very, very important time for the U.S. to demonstrate leadership. We have such a deficit of leadership right here at home and around the world, and that has got to change. And Donald Trump, that's his big message is make America great again, and his bigger message is we are going to start leading again.
Yeah, well, a week from today, next Wednesday morning, we'll know who the next president is.
That's great.
General, thank you very much.
Where are you heading now?
Back out the door.
You're back on the road with him?
Back on the road, yeah.
Meanwhile, I know